I don't know why some of y'all so worried about Africa. If everything goes to crap, if everything goes to crap, the continent of Africa gonna be all right. The people in Africa gonna be all right. That's what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know why y'all so worried about Africa. Africa gonna be all right. Africa was fine during COVID. Africa was fine during everything. Africa's gonna be all right. Africa is fine. You can't even threaten Africa for real. Not for real. Not for real. Cause what you gonna do to Africa? Cause if you do something to Africa, you gonna do something to yourself. If you do something to Africa, you're gonna do something to yourself. Because the world, I'm gonna tell you, the world relies on Africa and South America. Period. There's but so much you can threaten those continents with. Those two continents don't even. You might as well stop. I mean, because I'm gonna just be honest. Like, I live in the United States of America, so I already know the game, right? So if you do too much to Africa, you have literally harmed yourself. If Asia does too much to Africa, if if they do too much, okay. So, and I've said this before a long time ago. Africa has always had the power in its own hands. They just didn't use it. They didn't use it properly. Literally, that's the only reason why the ball is in everyone else's court right now. However, that can change in a minute. Now, if you ask the question, if North if North America just went under, you know what I'm saying? The whole continent just went under. The world will survive. Yeah, there would be consequences and everything, but the world would survive. What if Europe just fell off the map, off the world, right? The world would be fine. You can't say that about Africa though, and you cannot say that about South America. The level of catastrophe would be totally different. It would be catastrophic if Africa was to just disappear off the face of the earth, right? And it would be catastrophic if South America did too. It would be super catastrophic if both of them disappeared at the same time. Okay, but it wouldn't. It would be catastrophic if North America left, but it wouldn't be as catastrophic. It wouldn't be as catastrophic if Europe went either. And if any people are going to survive catastrophe on the earth, if we're going to talk about races that are going to survive catastrophe, um, yeah, it's going to be racially black people and racially brown people. Definitely, that's a no brainer. And if you erase everything else about, okay, yeah, they're going to survive because of this, and that, we're going to, racially black people and racially brown people will survive just because of our sheer numbers. Our numbers are larger. So if you have, like, let's say, racially white people are, let's say just give it 20% of the globe, right? Because I'm not getting ready to look up anything. This is just off the top of my head. Let's say they make up 20%, and black and brown people make up the rest. If something catastrophic happens at that particular point, the populations who are the largest have the better chance of surviving. Period. Plus, there are various different types of black and brown people, and they each have something very unique about them as far as skill and what they can do, and what natural resources they live around, right? And what they can do with those natural resources. See what I'm saying? I'm not too familiar with what white people know in that aspect. I'm not even gonna lie. I do know that they know some things. They know how to hunt. They know how to hunt now. I'm gonna give them that. They know how to hunt. They will hunt something down, including people. However, bullets and stuff run out. You have to be able to do stuff with your hands. And I think that there are more brown and black people um, in their youth, um, who will survive longer than Europeans would. It gets cold up there. Woo cha. I was just thinking about that because when those countries lost their power, I was praying for them up there in Spain and everything. And I was just like, dang, oh, I'm glad it's in a warmer climate because God, I mean, they would be freezing their butts off. You know what I'm saying? So that's scary. That's the one thing scary about living in a colder climate. If you're not ready for something like that, if you're not ready for something like that, move me to somewhere hot. Okay, because I'd have been dead. I can't tell. I can't tolerate cold. I can't tolerate the cold weather. That's why I live in the South, honey. Yes, ma'am. But anyway, let me get off here. My little rant is over.